Squash the scum!
So, the Imperial Army Builder Pack is finally here, and some people got them early, and it felt like a lot of the early samples had atrocious paint. So I was really worried about this set. I was actually thinking, should I cancel this? If they're going to look like trash, I don't want them. But I'm happy to report that all 4 of my Stormtroopers in my builder set look perfectly fine, and I'm pretty happy with this. Unfortunately, it does show how expensive Star Wars figures are nowadays. Even though it comes in a very non-fancy-dancy box and they're all reuse, this still costs, I think, $43, which basically, at standard retail price, it doesn't save you too much money. It saves you, like, what, $9 if you think of each one as $13 each. So, I don't feel like it was that much of a savings. I feel like maybe if it was $35, I would have actually considered buying 2. But still, it's unfortunate. We went from paying like $25 for 5 figures for paying $43 for 4. But hey, I'm happy these things are a thing again. I'm finally happy that they realized, hey, people want army build these, and most people weren't able to get multiples of this original Rogue One version. So it's really nice that this is a thing that exists. And don't worry, we will compare it to the Rogue One version, and we'll address some of the issues that this has. And let's hope that they don't continue on these. So, let us scoop them out of the way, because I want to talk about this box real quick, because this is pretty interesting to me. So, the unboxing experience for this was kind of crazy. Number one, this art is kind of neat, but it's also very lazy. You can see, like, those are the same Stormtrooper, just reversed. Like, that's literally the same helmet right there. That's the same helmet right there, and that one's just kind of tilted. It's not the best artwork, I'm not going to lie. But, opening this up, this is how they were packed. They were wrapped in tissue paper, and you just unfold the paper and they're in there. And they're just in these little cardboard trays. Kind of interesting way to pack them. No plastic or anything involved with this. And their weapons were seriously just wrapped in the paper with them. They were not in baggies or anything. So, figured that was an interesting way they packaged these. I'll actually keep this box around. I think it's pretty cute. And I'll actually keep it in the background for the rest of the video because I like it that much. So, the Stormtroopers. You get 3 regular Stormtroopers. And you get 1 Stormtrooper Commander. And you get 3, actually you get 4 E11s. And then you get 2 of the longer rifles. So, yeah, we get a decent weapons loadout as well, so that's nice. Let's take a look at the details on these. You can see the helmets look really nice. For the scale, I really can't complain about the paint application on the helmets. I think all of them look really good. I really like the shoulder pauldron on the Commander as well. Of course, you can take that off. You just pop his head off. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of paint on a Stormtrooper, but I think they did a pretty good job with it. The weapons don't have any paint on them, but they don't really need paint. They're just Star Wars weapons. They can just be black. And they are the standard Stormtrooper mold that we've seen in Vintage Collection for a few years now. So let's actually show this one because he's holding his gun with one hand already. So yeah, they all share the same articulation. You get nice ball joint at the head there, ball hinge at the shoulders. The elbows bend and rotate. And then this wrist moves in and out, and this wrist moves up and down. Waist rotation, the hips, always got to find where the hinge is. It's the worst part about these new figures. Like, where's the hinge before you start bending it? The hinge allows it to bend up pretty good. Then, obviously, you can get side to side with that same motion. Thigh swivel, which is really nice. Knee bend, knee swivel. And you get feet that move up and down and swivel. Unfortunately, no rockers. This predated the rockers by just a little bit, but still. Really, I mean, it's the same Stormtrooper we've seen for a while, except you get 3 of them and a Commander. But, one interesting thing, a lot of people were like, oh man, I hope these don't yellow because for whatever reason, the Rogue One Stormtrooper yellows. And I'm like, wait, it yellows? Mine's fine. But, once I actually got my Rogue One Stormtrooper out to compare, I was like, oh, you're right. Seems like this is a very common issue with the original Rogue One version. It's ever so slight. I feel like I can see it better with my own eyes than I can on camera. But he is ever so slightly yellowing. On his helmet, on his torso, on his crotch, on his legs a little bit. He is ever so slightly discolored. I am inclined to say it's not because of sunlight, but rather like plastic staining. I feel like that could be a case. Because, I mean, the original Black Series Stormtrooper, as well as the Clone Trooper, had a similar issue where they kind of discolored, not because of yellowing, but because, like, the plastic was somehow prone to, like, staining in some weird way. I feel like this could be the same case. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's hardly noticeable. If anything, it's just slightly not as white as the new ones. Like, on camera, I hardly notice it. It's in person where I really see a slight difference. But, I mean, I notice the difference. I do notice it. But I do have to say, though, having a squad of stormtroopers and one commander to lead them is pretty satisfying. This is a pretty satisfying collection here, because I wanted multiples of this new stormtrooper, and I never really had a chance to get multiples of the original Vintage Collection version. I never really had a chance to get that. So this way, I now have my little army. Because I'm not over here wanting a massive force of these. I don't want to get a trillion of the set, not like I could anyway, because Hasbro Pulse puts like a limit of 1 or 2 of these per customer, which is ridiculous. If you want an army build, you should allow people to buy like 10 of these. Because honestly, man, like if it was up to me, you know, if it was maybe a little cheaper, if it went on sale, I could see myself picking another one of these up. Because if you only want one commander, all you have to do is just pop the head off and take the pauldron off. It's not like it's glued on there or anything. Here, I can show you. It's literally just on there. Here, let's pop his head off. Then boom, yeah, it's literally just on there. You can just make him a normal stormtrooper if you want. If you seriously don't want the commander, like if you're like, oh, that wasn't really in the original trilogy, I don't want that, then that's fine. Boom, there you go. You got a commander. Or you got a normal one. Congratulations, you just have another trooper to add to your ranks. But me personally, I've actually grown to the idea of the pauldron to stormtroopers being commanders. Oh, it's funny. The ball joint came off one way when I took it off, and it came off the other way this time because it's a dumbbell joint. I thought it broke for a second. But yeah, I've also really liked the idea that like all of the sand troopers were officers, because they sent like the more elite, high-ranking troopers to look for the plans on Tatooine. That's personally my opinion. It's not like all sand troopers have pauldrons. It's just all sand troopers were commanders and officers. But yeah, man, ooh, nice little setup there. Not really too much to say though, because I mean it's a figure we've seen 1,000 times. It's nothing new. It's nothing special. It's the Stormtrooper. And I'm really happy it exists. I'm happy the set is a thing. I'm happy it's readily available. And I'm also really happy the paint's good. That's what I'm really happy about. I'm happy I can look at these and say, yeah, they don't look like crap. They actually look pretty good. So that's a great thing. Honestly, not too much else to say, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you're going to pick up this set. I personally highly recommend it if you're a 3 3/4 inch collector, especially if you want to boost your Stormtrooper army just that little bit more. I think this is a great set to get because these are the definitive Stormtroopers in 3 3/4 inch scale, hands down. They finally nailed the sculpt of the helmets. It's kind of funny though, because the helmets on the box art actually kind of look like the vintage original trilogy collection helmets. They just look kind of goofy. They don't look proper. But these, man, proper helmets. Those are sublime, absolutely sublime. Alrighty, guys, thank you all so much. Special shout out to the patrons of Patreon. Thank you all so much for your continued support. I always genuinely appreciate it. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.